What's up, everyone? My name is MiKel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I've been a producer for about 8 years, and I wanted to share some of my knowledge that I've gained over these years to tell you guys how to essentially become famous in the music industry. Obviously, it's easier said than done. There's a lot of work that has to be involved, and a lot of time, a lot of money that needs to be invested. But with these tips that I want to share with you guys, I think it's something that can really help you build a successful career. So first off, I just wanted to start off by saying that, the music industry is a lot different than what it used to be. It used to be where you send music to a record label as a demo. If the record label liked it, they signed you, gave you a signing bonus, and then you'd go on tour, record an album, all this stuff, and then you'd become famous in a sense. That's pretty much what record labels were doing for artists back then. They pretty much had all of the power. Now, today, it's a lot different. Record labels are not as powerful as they used to be. Although they do have a lot of perks that they can offer, it's not something that will really, determine your success. There's still other ways to go about, becoming a successful artist. There are plenty of record labels now today that aren't like major record labels, for example, Interscope Records. So there's a lot of indie labels out there now that are just, signing music, trying to distribute it, this and that. So it gets a little difficult trying to find the right record label, and that's another reason why record labels aren't as, powerful as they used to be, because there's just so many of them now. Really, the big ones are the ones that can really make your career still to this day, but it's not something that is necessary for your success. That being said, if you still are trying to go down that road, I would try to find a record label that has a lot of clout in the music industry, but also a record label that's, for example, if you are doing EDM or something like that, if you're a music producer trying to get in the EDM industry, I'd go for a record label that's run by another artist, because usually these record labels are the ones that really do care about finding new talent and getting them discovered, and it's not all about money to them. For example, Hardwell's label, Revealed Recordings, he started that off with the purpose of finding new talent and giving them a chance. It grew into such a big thing, and he's still trying to find new talent with his team. And there are many other artists that are going and starting off their own record label, trying to find new music. So if you're trying to go that route, you want to get the attention of these people. And a good way to do that is to find the record labels that you like, find up-and-coming artists that are on these record labels, and try to reach out to them. They're not at that, superstardom stage where they can't reply to everyone's messages, because they're just getting a message every second. These are the people that you want to build relationships with over time. There's a really important saying in the industry, where it's 20% talent and 80% connections. In a sense, it is true. You need to know people, but it's not like you can't meet these people. You definitely can. It's all about finding the right people, taking time to build these relationships. So take some time to find these new and up and coming DJs and producers on these record labels that you're trying to be a part of. Try to get their attention, send them professional quality remixes and originals, and just build a relationship over time. This way, in the future, they might send your music out to the label owner and be like, hey, these guys, they're new, but they got some good stuff that would fit the label. It's another thing. You want to make content that fits the label as well. You don't want to have songs that are just low quality and, would fit a trance label if you're trying to go for a progressive house label. That doesn't make sense. So that's one way to go about getting signed at the record label. There are other record labels that still allow you to just submit music, and that's cool and all, but really the ones that are worth trying to get into are, it's not that easy. It's better to just try and build these relationships and work your way up the ladder in a sense. So keep that in mind if you're still trying to go the record label route. If not, there are other ways to do it. For example, doing blogs. Trying to get the attention of blog writers using EDM as an example, if you are trying to get an article written with Dancing Astronaut or Your EDM or This Song Slaps, there's a ton of blogs out there. They also want to see professional but also new and fresh content. If you're following a trend, you're making music, make sure it sounds good. Make sure you can get someone else to master your music and make it sound clean. There are plenty of writers that just give out their information on articles that you read. You can go and message these people, add these people, and essentially build a relationship with these writers as well. Don't just start off by telling them, hey, I got a song that I really would like for you to check out. You don't want to just sell them immediately when you first contact them. You want to reach out to them and be like, hey, I really like your articles that you write. I'm a big fan of this type of music, and then essentially just make a friend. Show genuine appreciation and interest in what they're writing, what they're providing. This is all really important if you want to gain the attention of another blog writer. Because these blog writers, they write articles that are seen by thousands of people if you're on the right blog. So if they're writing to a bunch of people, these are all potential new fans that you can gain. That being said, I also would recommend that you consider releasing some of your music for free. If you're willing to release your music for free, you can use something like a download gate, a fan gate, that requires the person who wants to download your song to like your page on Facebook or follow you on SoundCloud, and then that would unlock the a free download for them. That's huge. So especially if you get a blog to say, hey, that's a free download, and send all these people to your SoundCloud, you're going to get a bunch of new followers. I've done that plenty of times. It really does work. I've recommended that to other artists, and a lot of other artists do that to this day if they're trying to make a name for themselves. So definitely consider that as an option as well. Another big thing is trying to get artist support. It is not the easiest thing in the world to try and get support from someone like, Tiesto or Calvin Harris or Bruno Mars, Drake, or anything like that, but there are ways to essentially make your way up to it. Again, having good content. That is important. That is huge. But say you want to send your music out to another producer. A lot of these producers have their promo email open. They just put it on their Facebook or their SoundCloud and say, hey, just send all promos to this email. You can send your stuff to their promo email, but make sure it's stuff that they can play in their sets. Make sure it's stuff that they can play on their podcasts, something that relates to them in one way or another. A big thing that I would like to do is send remixes to the artist that I made a song or made a remix of. And, say, for example, I made a remix of, Borges's song. I can send it to Borges's email. Odds are, in the title, if I put promo, one of his songs, my remix, and, it's a lot more, he has a way higher chance of actually seeing that out of, the ridiculous amount of promo emails he probably gets, and listens to your song. Especially if he likes it, he's going to support it. Then you can say, oh, I was supported by Borges, and this and that is going to be huge. Now, another reason why artist support is huge is if you're able to piggyback off of their followers, their fan base, this is going to open a whole new door of, all these new doors of opportunities for you. For example, I had there's these two guys that I know. They go by the name Arm & Hammer. They were just, they're based out of Irvine. They were just making music and playing direct support slots at this club in Costa Mesa, and that's all they were doing for a couple of years. Yeah, they were friends with Slander because they went to the same college as them, but they were still waiting for their big break. Now, as they were writing music for the Chainsmokers, they were just writing a remix. The Chainsmokers, they got the attention of the Chainsmokers, and the Chainsmokers immediately just started sharing their music with all of these different followers and stuff like that. So, and that was huge. That was huge for them. So, and they went on a few tour dates with them. it essentially launched their career to what it's starting to be now. They have over 40,000 likes on Facebook. They're signed with Circle Talent Agency, and it's all because the Chainsmokers just picked them up and started to support them. So that's another reason why artist support is huge. Now, a way you can make use of that is by finding that artist that you really like, that you could potentially get in contact with. You know, if they have a promo email, try to send it to them. Try to send your music to them. Make remixes for them. You know, say, hey, I made this remix of your song. I would really love to get your opinion of it. And, you know, if they get back to you, you might be surprised in what they say. So try to reach out to those people. If not, if they don't respond, keep trying. Keep sending them new content. Don't spam them, but keep sending them new content, new remixes. Again, if their promo email is available to you, it's going to be available to a whole bunch of other people. So you got to make sure that you just stay somewhat persistent. Don't spam. Don't send them 3 emails in a day, you know, making sure that they checked out one song. Just keep trying, keep working on it, and eventually, hopefully, they will get back to you. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is you got to look at your music career as a business. You have to invest a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of effort to actually seeing success. You know, apart from writing music and focusing on the creativity side of it, you have to do a lot of work on the marketing side, promoting your music, sending it out to blogs, sending it out to Facebook groups, and this and that, trying to, you know, just get the attention of other people. There are other services out there that can help, but, you know, ultimately you have to be doing a majority of the work. Again, it's not cheap to start a business. You got to have good equipment. You got to be able to have money to spend on advertising if you really want to get out there. Because advertisements will if done and created properly, it will get your music in your posts seen by the right people. Obviously, everyone knows about Facebook's reach, how little their reach is if you don't pay for any of their advertising or anything like that. So it's good to use advertisements to your advantage. That being said, you know, it's funny because I started a marketing company helping a bunch of other artists with that sort of thing, where we manage their social media pages, create a website for them, create advertisements for them, and we even mentor them on next steps they should take. We're not essentially an agent or a manager. We're just a marketing company that takes all of that nitpicky stuff away from the artist. It gives you more time to focus on creating music, doing shows, all that stuff. If that's something that may interest you, I provided a link below. You can just check that out. It's a program that we're starting soon. But for now, I really hope these tips helped you out. If they did, drop a like, drop a comment below. You know, subscribe to our channel. I want to be providing you guys a bunch of videos, trying to help and give back information for you guys to use and utilize in your career. And if you guys have any questions, drop it in the comments below. I'd love to answer them. But for now, again, I hope you found this video really useful, and stay tuned for the next video.